All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, episode 2.
Okay.
All right, we got ourselves a show just filled with passion and creativity.
Absolutely.
And love.
Kanamori, you're amazing.
Yes. Like, all these girls are like a squad of best girls, like in a lot of ways. It's wonderful to see how much anime can just have fun with itself being anime. But then in this show where it's about girls that love anime and the process of, producing the individual parts that are necessary in order for anime to even happen.
Yep.
The miracle that it is.
Right.
And it just gets me excited, just to see what new fun things they'll explore.
How many milks will they have?
All the milks. All the milks. I mean, Kanamori's got to keep growing tall.
Exactly.
I mean, it's it's the little things that you can hold over with regards to are we going to call her Asukasa or Midori, basically?
I think I have no idea.
I think Kanamori tends to call her Asukasa. But I forgot if Kanamori was the first or the last name at this point already.
Kanamori is Kanamori.
Kanamori is Kanamori.
I think at this point.
True. Yeah. But we met the amateur model actress, Mizusaki or Tsubame.
Right.
She is like a whole new spin on the Genki character,
Sure, yes.
But it's funny because she's kind of outdone in that by Asukasa. So there's this rampant chaotic energy that will just compound on itself by these three being in a group.
It will be absolutely wonderful. And here we have had our serendipitous encounter that can actually cause things to happen that may not have otherwise happened because opportunities and circumstances and things like that.
Yeah. It was actually kind of funny because I actually went to bed the night after we recorded that episode, and I was immediately thinking about how that whole sequence was shot like a romance episode in a lot of ways.
Yeah, with the grab your hand, let's go on an adventure, and being chased by men in suits and whatnot, because why not?
Of course, fight the power. Yeah,
exactly.
But it just felt so good and even more hyper stylized in my dream. Thinking back on it, but it was one of those shows where the first episode immediately makes me want to dream about anime.
Yep.
It's kind of like when you play a video game that's really good for the first time, and then you go to bed thinking about the video game.
Oh, yeah. If I could control my own dreams, that would be amazing, and they would probably be something similar to what we saw in the first episode.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Indeed.
Economic disparity.
Yeah, just a little bit,
No. This is the loophole.
We'll call it the animation club, Don't have to call it that, exactly. Money.
長編映画作ってる部ないし、どう？ほら、そこの裏にコンクールのポスターあるでしょ。
Wow.
うちの学校って大会とか出る部が少ないからさ。君らで長編作っ
Make a feature like the animated film. Live action. Yep.
横田先生。映像系の部活作ったら部費はいくら出ますか？
私らはアニメが作りたいのだよ、金森氏。
アニメはダメだぞ。だってアニケンあるし。
何言ってんすか？アニメだって映像。
It totally is. Who's this in the background? Yeah.
ヒゲが重い。最近ヒゲが重くて肩が
I feel you, man.
私藤本が顧問を引き受けよう。
All right.
You're hired.
空きもあるから。
The facial expressions are so good.
Yep.
All right, OP time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Since they're repeating the actual like poses that they're making, we're eventually gonna be able to have them memorized.
Oh yeah.
Like,
The memes definitely help with that too.
yeah, someone sent me one for Nier Automata.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't send this to Jacob because not only will he not get it, but it's sort of a spoiler too.
I feel the same way about the Comey one that I was sent.
Oh yeah. Breezy. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Oh my god. This is such a fun OP.
ここっすか。でっけえ。外壁が金属の波板だよ。おしゃれ。
ただの古いトタン板ですよ。
The different levels of excitement, and Kanamori's just like,
And over what makes them excited.
Right.
油圧線が2発ある。すげえ。
But this is the club room?
と
Like,
りあえず私撮影しておき
Well, they need, like, room to have multiple sets and stuff, I guess.
yeah.
暑いですね。
君らはまだ実績がない同好会だからね。正式な部活になればクーラーもつくかも。
So an achievement would be being a proper club with 5 members. So, is this just the...
1000万とかしたよ。
Whoa.
お
Whoa.
金ないよ私。水崎家の改装じゃ比較にならんよ。
Yeah, yeah.
円で足りる。
やはり優先してやるべきは屋根と壁の修
Oh man.
人件費と材料費で5万は超えてくるか。となるとやはり自分たちで
Yeah.
Okay.
ここが
This is supposed to be the whole thing of how an animation studio starts with nothing, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's just grab a cheap place,
快適に
just start shoving stuff in there, yep.
スタジオみたいにしたい。
Wow.
Okay.
録画できる。
Just a bunch of young people with dreams and...
Uh-huh.
試写
Yep.
あ
屋根は可動式に。
that's definitely necessary.
ここから飛び立つ。 できるのだ。すごい。何それ。エンジンで発電。モーターで駆動する。
Oh, I love when they do this. This is so cool.
飛べませんよ。プロペラと反対方向に体が回ってしまいます。
ねえ、ハンドルか。そこは内側のローターが逆回転することで体勢を保つことができる。
I love that the art style for the sketches, though, very much looks like something that isn't refined, you know?
Right.
So it's more like something that they, or maybe the audience even, could draw, even though it still...
I mean, it's also
Takes-
just really intense animation with like a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of-
yeah. It's
It's a lot of drawings.
absolutely, yeah.
You know? Kanamori's best friend. I filmed the whole thing.
Right.
に沿って後方へまとめ固定を外していく。
しかしやりましたよ浅草市。
Yes, you gave me something to post to my story.
無駄にしま。
I will let your dad be.
Oh, yeah.
衝撃映像の買い付け価格が発表される番組ありますよね。
Oh, gotcha.
そうされる大半の動画には
I thought she was going to try and use it to be like, hey, school, this is not a safe place for us to be.
仲介業者がいるので我々にスキルは要求されません。
金森さんって足長いよね。
寝る子なので育てました。
Wow.
Yes.
まあでも怪我が
Talking to their advisor.
修理は全部学校側でやるから金の心配はしなくて。
Yes. Good.
実はそのセンセーショナルな様子が撮影
くれぐれもこういうの公開しないでくれよ。
Or what?
お上はうるさいからさ。
Yes, we definitely will not do that anymore.
私たちアニメが作れるんだね。イエーイ。
Yes.
物質や予算など問題はま
Kind of always like, hey, reality.
何アホなことやってんですか浅草市。
皿回
分
し。
かってます。
金森さんはきっと小言が多いから鬼の犬間に宴会しようって
Wow.
食堂のコロッケと音玉浴場の瓶牛乳もある
Milk, you say?
これを早く
Why didn't you say that earlier?
ですね。
現金だ持ってきてくれたんだよ。家で使ってなかったから番頭さんに頼んで
Our chief of staff.
本当さ
Right? Yeah.
家の椅子を並べた秘密基地が許されるのは小学生まで。我々は高校生、つまり大人だ。
Adults, if I may be so bold. Wow, Jacob, you hear that?
Yeah,
Yep.
それよりこのソファーいくらするんです
Oh my god, they're gonna sell them.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
300万ぐらいかな。
やはり。
300万のソファーにアニメの制作会議が大事。
First, sell all this stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
日常の自然な動きや生活感あふれるリアルな芝居が描きたいんだ。わしの話はする。
まずはジャンルを決めませんか。
Sure, that's probably a
They're
good
going so
idea.
detail focused and stuff, and kind of always like, all right, let's keep things simple here.
客から稼ぐものじゃないでしょ。
Moe.
描きたい動きとかシーンをメインに作りたい。ジャンルは後付けできるし、まだ平気でしょ。
Conroy's the only one with any sense of the three.
They are the sails, I am the rudder.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, let them fly true, you know?
動画用紙。
Oh.
穴が開いた紙なんだけど、ずれないようにタップで固定して作画するんだよね。
ともかく机はお上にお伺いを立てましょう。
Yes, the powers that be.
ここは足が。
いいですが、アニメ制作は不
もしあれば、ライトボックス付きの机が欲しいです。アニメ作るには必要。アニメはダメだって言ったじゃん。我々は
Stand back. Yep.
アニメはアニケンがあるから。
我々映像権は映像制作全般を主軸としており、実写であれアニメであれジャンルを問わず映像を作る権利があるはずです。そもそも
Yes.
の正式名称はアニメ文化圏。
Ah.
Oh.
実態もなく不当に権利の幅を利かせる部は迷惑千万で
Oh. Oh.
生徒の正当
Oh.
ああ
そんな理由もなしに制限するのならば PTA や教育委員会の
Kanamori is the
Kanamori
best.
is the best.
大雨の予報も出てるから早めに済ませろよ。
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, no-
leaking, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to have paper that could
Yep,
get you know,
that would be
damaged.
bad.
風車だよ風車。谷風を利用してたんだ。うわ川だ川。物質の真下にこんな場所があるなんて。危ないって水崎氏。
倉庫に入り
There's going to be some places for more inspiration with regards to their production.
シートや灰
Did someone else do animation here before?
Yeah.
こうやって重ねて撮影してたんだよね。
Whoa.
重ねると曇ってきちゃうので、4枚までって決まってて。
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
これ撮影台じゃないか。
Whoa.
本当だ。
Holy crap.
これでけえ本物だ。このハンドルを回して少しずつ背景をスライドさせると、これで上下動させてクレーンアップやクレーンバックができる。
That is
ピ
insane.
ントのぼかしができるし、透過光という光の処理も下から鏡で反射さ。
肝心の机はある
Right, right. Coming with a whole bunch of other things here, but
これだよ。うわあ、本で見たまんまだ。これそのまま使えるよ。
Is that paper actually usable? Might be too old.
これがさっき言ってたタップだよ。こ こを紙の穴に刺して何枚も重ねて描くんだよ。翼に角度がないんじゃよ。
Ah,
本当だ。
gotcha.
風を受けられないから回らないね。ねえこれ完成させようか。
Hey, stay focused.
But hey, you know, it's all part of the the inspiration, the desire, the.
これ1枚いくらで描くんだっけ。あっしらは無給ですぜ。佐々木さん。
But the answer to that is
Not a
almost
lot.
nothing.
Yeah.
うまいかな森さん。金感情慣れしてっかな。
That's great.
顔で言うと横顔、正面顔。真ん中はこの顔と思われがちだけど、実際はここが真ん中。
Whoa.
Gotcha.
上下に詰まるんだよ。これでどうじゃろうって自然になった気がする。回ってる感じするね。でもまだなんか物足りんね。風車は回ってるけども風が見えないんじゃ。
風が見えますか？
This is anime we're talking about.
感じで風をかいちまう表現もあるが、あと舞い散るかけらを飛ばしたり。
Well, the scraps, that would be intense, though. That's.
この風車が回らないのはあのビルが風を遮っているのが原因だ。
Okay.
I love the voice acted sound effects.
するとすぐこれだ。
Oh yeah, I hadn't realized that.
There was another anime we were watching previously. I don't remember which one it was, but it'd do the same thing. I think it was a movie.
そんなとこから水が出るんですか？浅草市。
Oh,
That
that's a
looks
really good way to
cool.
do 2D water.
ガサズ流れてくる。
Indeed.
出航じゃ。
Those kinds of things are really fun to sail on because you really do have to lean quite a bit.
これが我々の作る最強の風車だ。
Nice.
Okay.
Most powerful world, most powerful windmill, and the storm. Yep. They forgot.
Mm-hmm.
すごい風だなこれ。
And they can see it, you know.
Yep.
もしもし、
Oh, budget time.
振り込まれてましたよ。金3万円。
それ今テレビで。
Oh no. Oh no. Methinks the school will be a little bit upset. But hey, they got 30,000 yen out of it.
Yay!
So what, 300 bucks?
Yep, yep.
Which is what they were saying they'd probably need to fix the roof.
Did they say 50,000 for something else then?
50,000 was for... Can't remember what that was for.
Okay.
Oh, that was for cleaning the place out. If
Oh,
they,
that's right,
If
that's
they got
right.
other people to do it.
Right. So they decided to do it themselves instead.
Mhm.
It's probably this show going to make me appreciate something that I don't think I ever really focus on in anime, because my brain doesn't have to anymore spend as much energy suspending my disbelief with regards to accepting that these are characters, a fictional world and stuff like that. Because when I first watched anime, like way younger and stuff, I had to get over the fact that the characters were drawn a specific way or they would move a specific way. But this show is basically just getting into how much effort is put into making the actual visual stuff you're going through believable, you know?
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, all right. We've got our three girls now in an actual place dedicated for their work.
Yep.
This feels very like apropos, Jacob, because like we actually just switched places where we're going to be recording, and we had up until recently an open space that we're like, we're going to fill this whole place up, and until you know, previously we were just, hunkered in a corner of a tiny, tiny room and had like nothing to it. And this is that humble beginnings of a studio in a format where you can see the youthful vibrancy coming through as they look at, problems as opportunities to, improve and fill in with something like sofas and, little like cushions and things like that. And
you know what else is kind of funny?
What's that?
Just like in this show, we are funding this by videos of ourselves that we're posting online.
What is it? 30,000 yen is 30,000 yen,
Yeah, exactly.
They got to get the money somehow.
Now, the trouble that they're going to have with the school as a result of that.
Yeah. Also, this is something I was really hoping they would bring up eventually, was the storm thing causing leaks in the actual building. And then the 3 million yen sofas would get ruined. So I'm like, you really should have sold those sofas fast as possible.
What was it? Oh, yeah. 3 million yen. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's $30,000.
Like
insane.
I was so expecting, like, the whole thing of the stabbing the fork with it was great, right?
That was fun.
I was so expecting Kanamori to be like, all right, so
eBay
100 and 500,000 yen for these couches or whatever.
You have to deliver them. You have to bring you to move them yourself.
Right, but just to immediately just be like, we're selling these.
Sold.
All right, cool. Our funding's good.
Yep.
Thank you very much
for at least a good chunk of time.
Right. Well, yeah, because even if they got like half, $15,000, right? Like that'd take them pretty far.
It's funny too because it was like, oh yeah, but we're still gonna do the video.
Right.
And maybe there's also the immutable, intangible, aspect of, well, we could use the 3 million yen, furniture and enjoy the luxury that provides,
yes, definitely.
When one of us needs to nap because we've been, drawing for 12 hours straight or something.
And besides, because furniture, what was it? It was like furniture.
Furniture is the mark of an adult.
Yeah,
that was wonderful because
we're not adults yet,
Asukasa. Yeah, exactly. And Asukasa. Well, no, technically I'm an adult. Yeah. Yeah. I had some that I picked up a while ago for helping grandparents move. And I spent like a few days moving for them, like helping them move and stuff. And they were like, "Hey, we don't need these." It was an old couch and a
very
chair.
very
comfy, but it's still really old, old as balls. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll definitely take it." They were like, "Yeah, absolutely, thank you for taking out hands." I'm like, "No, thank you." Furniture? I'm not gonna buy furniture. What? I guess mark of an adult. We got
that hit very close to home, shall I say. But I feel like with this episode, even though in the previous episode we had firmly established the dynamic of the characters, this one was sort of like yes, that wasn't just this is like, it's consistent now, right?
Yeah.
We have a pattern that's set up for how things are going to be for the rest of the show. Asukasa and Mizusaki are very much the energetic, passionate types that don't think about certain things that are important to think about.
But they are really passionate about those details as they go into it, and that will be the sales, if you will, that they need to put their windmill towards.
Right, exactly. And then Kanamori will just be the sensible one of the party, which I love because it goes into the whole also the comedy thing of the straight man and the and the wacky people that have all the crazy stuff happen.
Absolutely.
But it's also something that would totally be necessary with something like this because there's the actual ability to create the animation itself, and then there is the management and the making sure that it all gets put together
and gets done because we've seen how quickly they get distracted.
Oh my god.
I want to actually draw a little bit of a I think this might have been genius, or this was slightly just something that I'm applying with retrospect, kind of hindsight with regards to this episode. But there was a huge motif with regards to, in my opinion, the idea of ships, wind, the efforts of their whole project they've got going on here, their club, being something that they need to put their sails up to in a way, let it catch the wind, and try and handle it, if you will,
whatever
like,
wind
kind of
they can
right
catch.
their boat, exactly.
Even if it's by saying we're doing a live action movie, which immediately gets dropped.
Which I love that when it came down to it, they couldn't keep that a secret. So Kanamori lays down the law and is like, "Are you going to withhold us from executing our inalienable rights with regards to the creative, And it's like, oh, no, okay.
And technically, the other club, they're the Anime Research Society.
Right.
We're not researching anime. We're making that shit.
You could. I want to say this is something that I've tasted, and it is quite humbling, I would say. But there is this, the whole man in the arena little quote monologue thing. It's basically the respect you give for the person that's actually in the arena, kind of fighting it out versus the people that kind of yell from the stands. I could almost feel them holding themselves back, Kanamori, they're using Kanamori to say it, but it's the idea that there's so many people that love to comment, and I'm one of those people in a lot of ways, on the thing, and be like, yes, I speak as if I know so much.
Right.
And then there are the people that actually make the stuff that you're commenting on, and I'm sure they have to deal with so much shit when they're like, well, this life passion of mine just got completely destroyed in a really lame YouTube video out there. So I could feel that they didn't go all the way with it, but I sensed that from Kanamori's little bit there.
Because when it comes right down to it, whether it animation, right? It's a lot easier for us to get on board with that because we love anime, right?
Oh, totally.
So of course, watching a show about people that are passionate about animation, it's right up our alley, right?
Absolutely.
But even if it wasn't about animation, and this is what you get whenever you're going into a sports show or a cooking show or whatever, something, right?
Where you learn something different about some passion or skill that people have developed over years and years.
And anime does that in some amazing ways. And this was Kanamori here basically laying down the law of, you do realize that the important thing is students and just young people figuring out what the thing is that they're passionate about, and if they're going to apply themselves to it, then who the hell are you to stand in their way? Even if you can't see the value in it personally yourself, even if you see it as just being some derivative, why don't you just join the Anime Society, right?
You would equivocate those two,
right? It's so that's good. Thank you for pointing that out because I hadn't thought about that from that angle. And then once you mention it, it's that's totally what was happening.
Yeah, I was in a conversation with someone, and there was this awkward moment when they realized that I was potentially in that crowd. They were someone who works on animation stuff, specifically, and it was just this moment where I was in the car, and I was chatting up Made in Abyss with them, and they went off on the concept art. They went completely off. They were just in love with the idea there. And I basically just echoed what they were saying. And there was this moment where you could tell that they knew that I didn't understand really what they were saying. But I could understand how they felt about it. So they had to, it almost felt like they had to dumb down themselves a little bit to engage it more in a conversation versus them just monologuing using terms that I didn't fully understand. So I felt the burden of responsibility to be let them keep gushing. Don't try to make them have to bring it down to the level of just a commentator.
Right.
You keep being the person that talks about it from the angle of the production side. I just want to be a sponge and listen to what you're saying.
Right. And imagine how awful that would have been if instead of doing that, because I think that's the perfect way to handle it. Because there are people that do this where it'll be oh yeah, but the concept art, that's not really that important when you think about it. You know?
Sure.
And then it's One, you don't know because you don't necessarily think about that stuff, so you don't realize how much effort is being put into this.
Exactly.
Thing. But like,
but the show actually handled that. And it was really clever. It was that Kanamori was bringing up the thing of, hey, you know, those are details, and they're great and all, but we should choose the genre. And they were like, we don't care about the genre. We can figure that out later.
Oh my god!
And what was great about this was Kanamori didn't debate that or push it. She was just like,
she chooses her battles.
I'm gonna wait and see what they do,
right?
And then we can broach that topic again later. So I loved that already within their really like high energy dynamic, even though Kanamori is the lowest energy of the group. You could see that there was a dynamic that had little bits of tension that because of how much they are knitted together already as a group, they made little sacrifices and little things specifically for the sake of the momentum of this whole
main
thing.
Objective.
Right. Yeah. Which is to just do this thing.
Even though I would say that maybe some sacrifices were made more towards the passion than the main objective when it came to, oh wow, this thing's so cool in here. Like, which granted,
which is a lot for us. Though.
Which is it is a lot for us.
It's a lot for
and
us.
That was really cool to see that whole like animation camera and think like, oh my god, like all those times when you would see that like same panel for like the running sequence or the chase sequence, you know, for the background.
Right.
And you're like, come on, I've seen that one cactus 11 times, right? Like, you know, change it already. It's like, no. This is actually something where they're like, okay, turn and do all these things. And like,
and that's, But I also loved how in the first episode when they had Asukasa and Mizusaki holding up the bit of the drawing over the window using the light from the outside to basically simulate what this device will do for them, in addition to not only recording it, but also adding an element of motion innately for any kind of just basic kind of sliding panel kind of stuff. So this is really cool because we're starting to get into the stuff where I'm like, okay, I don't know some of the words that they're using right now, but I'm starting to now realize where the excitement for this show really is centered around, because these characters are going to build the most powerful world, insert thing here, and it will be the exploration and enjoyment of that in the moment with these characters having their unique little perspectives on it.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that just blows me away whenever I think about it, and it was brought up in this episode, so I feel like talking about it, but cell animation. The idea of drawing animation, I get that, right?
Right.
I can't imagine how much time and effort it must take and everything, but I get that, right? And especially once you're starting to digitize it and things like that, right? Not to take away from any of that. But painting the frames,
and then having a limit as to how many times you can use.
Yeah, how many different frames you can stack up and things like that. Like, that's crazy.
Like, I take for granted in After Effects just the ability to have like 15 layers just casually just there. Just like what? I'll add another 26 if I want to. What's your question here?
It's these kinds of things that make me want to go back and watch old Ghibli movies or Cowboy Bebop or things like that and just be like, they were doing that for all of these. Like every time, you know, that they would do whatever it was they were doing, whether it was Spike Spiegel with his crazy flow like water, you know, like fighting style, or a food montage where like that.
I think this might be one of those anime where if you combine this with like eventually watching, you know, what's the other one, Shirobako, you don't get a look behind the curtain in terms of like, you know, the full thing, but you get like a smell behind the curtain. You know, you're like, that's the pain and joy of animators working really hard, but not just animators, you know, compositors, and, you know, a whole bunch of other people.
Shirobako, where it really shines, I feel like, is showing the machine, like of all the different moving parts and like
talking to each other,
and sometimes missing communication with each other and things like that, all in a very sort of fun rose-colored lens, you know,
Yes.
for the making of anime, right?
For sure.
But things like this, where it's getting into like the nitty-gritty details, it's just so cool.
And because it's in such the infant stage with regards to the actual machine part,
right,
we're
with where
focused
they're at, yeah.
more on those details, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to end up probably appreciating the other characters at the same level as Kanamori, but right now Kanamori is the character that I feel like is essential for me as the dumb audience member to really get into this on a level that is not just with the humor side of things, but understanding there's some real world like hurdles to get through that are just as simple as money, like things like that. And that's something that I understand innately beyond the animation or the skill, talent required to do the actual work.
In some ways, I almost feel like Kanamori is actually the rarest of the three characters. Here's why.
Okay.
And take that with a grain of salt, because the talents and everything of Asukasa and Mizusaki cannot be understated.
Totally.
Right? They have already fostered those talents and everything, and they're in some great places to be able to actually make stuff. But the difference between being able to make stuff and actually making stuff is a gap that I feel like is almost never crossed, especially by like young people at that stage where there's the vision or the practicality or whatever in order to turn it into something.
Yeah, and she fits too many things on the Venn diagram with that regard. So it's like, oh my god,
like if
you have
if
all these things and that, you know,
right? Like if I could go back and choose which of those three to like have be like a best friend growing up, you know, for like making cool stuff.
Well, her thing is also a little bit more universal.
Yes,
so that kind of makes sense.
Well, right, but like even if it wasn't like animation, say, even if it was someone else that was like whatever, like it, like, you know, for say writing, if it was another person that was also a really passionate writer or whatever,
or an editor,
or an editor, like, but that I guess that's what it feels like. Kanamori feels more like the editor, right?
Well, no, I was saying the editor would be one of the other skills people. Kanamori is more just logistics. Sure. Not editing, like just entirely logistics and hey, get this done.
Right, yeah.
I think there are so many people out there, what you're getting at is the idea that there are so many people that just want a friend that has the logistics kind of annoying stuff covered for you, and then their other left hand, the right hand is basically punching through brick walls for you, and their left hand is slapping your ass being like, get that shit done.
Right, because I feel like we've all had points where we were really passionate about something, right? But oftentimes, most of the time for us, I would say, the passion doesn't really end up going much of anywhere, even if it's a lot of fun and things like that, right? And Kanamori is the you know, by far the most mature of the three that basically is like, okay, let's actually make this go somewhere. You know, there's a lot of, you're blowing a lot of wind in these sails, but let me just tie the sails into place first so that they can properly catch it or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I love the show.
Yeah, it's a wonderful show. I love the energy and the vibe it gives me, and then we get to have just these adorable characters just have fun with it as well. So more of this. This is awesome. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. You can also talk with Jake about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yep. Battle Lines. It's my passion project. It's a sci-fi novel available for purchase on Amazon. The link is in the description down below.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.